Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Woo! It's our last live of the Readathon. Not the last day, but the last live. Yeah, it's been a busy week, but how have y'all been doing with your reading? And do you have any favorites that you've read so far this Readathon?
I definitely have a favorite. It is the 7-Year Slip. That's been my favorite so far. And sadly, it is not When in Rome. So let me just take that off my name. Sorry to disappoint. But as far as my reading, I only have one reading prompt to go, and that is to read the Cozy Mystery with the recipes. So
awesome. Well, my favorite is When in Rome. So there's that. Jessie and I have talked at length about it, but no, I just loved it so much. But I also really liked Ballad for Sophie for the graphic novel. Like both of those were 5 stars for me. So, but When in Rome, just it was so cute.
I love it.
What about you guys?
I think my favorite's Field of Screams, which it was only a 4, but I really liked it. It was slow going at first, not because it was slow, but just because it was me getting into it. But I ended up really liking it. So that's probably my favorite. I still have one more book to get to. I've got to get to before the coffee gets cold. So maybe tonight and tomorrow I can knock that one out and then I'll be done. So.
Yay.
I think my favorite so far has been Atlas 6, even though I'm not done with it.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, at least it was worth it.
I have to finish this. And then I'm also reading Murder at the Pumpkin Patch, Cozy Mystery with the recipe. And that is like superb fall vibes all the way. Like if it's not on your TBRs, it should be because it's really good. So yeah, I just have to read that one and then finish this one. So
yay.
I think I can do it.
You can totally do it.
Yeah.
You can totally do it. And also I just want to apologize like upfront if my internet is crappy. I don't know about you, Liv, but like we have had major rain, major wind, and like my internet has been majorly crappy for that reason. So I'm sorry if I blip out or whatever like that, but just hang in there. I promise I'll try to come back. But let's see. Kayla's here. Hello, Kayla. Vet. Lena. Thanks, guys. Oh my gosh. Summer. Elise. So beautiful. Yes. Hello, Julie. Haven't really gotten to participate, but I love watching. You know what? We have lives, we ain't got time to be reading all the time.
And she's a teacher, so
I know exactly. So like, hey, Faith. Glad to hear you're loving it, Liv. 10% in and not feeling it yet. I wanted to see if it got better. Currently reading House of Salt and Sorrows, and I'm having major feelings. You stayed up till 3 in the morning.
It's so good. That was me. I stayed up till 2 a.m. to finish it.
Oh my goodness. I'm loving that. Hey, Angel. It's been such a fun readathon. Thank you. That makes me so happy. Hello, Rachel. And then Kat coming in here with the boo.
Oh my gosh, she scared me.
I know. Like I'm terrified over here. Okay, so to kick off the little live, Jessie has some jokes for us, y'all.
I do some back to school jokes.
Bring it.
I was telling them at my work, for all of our customers, we do a joke. Well, I do a joke of the day, and people think they're so corny, but literally people will stop just to see what the joke of the day is and then not do anything. So I know you told me to pick 5, but I picked 9. So okay. What school supply is king of the classroom? A ruler.
Oh my gosh! I was like, "Come on, you've got to get this."
Word!
Now I feel dumb.
Why is there never a clock in the library?
Never a clock in the library.
That's correct, Jovi.
I'm sorry, guys.
Because it talks too much. Womp womp. Okay.
She's like, I don't.
Why? What kind of school do surfers go to?
Oh, something with bro.
Nope. Boarding school. But
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Why? Why?
Oh my
what
gosh.
did the buffalo say at the school drop off?
Bye, son.
Yep.
Oh, dang, Keisha. Nice.
No, that's so dumb. Okay.
She's like, bye, son.
What school requires you to drop out in order to graduate?
Oh, I feel like I've heard this one before.
I don't know.
Skydiving school.
I
Why
suck
can't
at these.
why can't the pirate learn the alphabet?
The pirate? Because something about R.
Nope.
Dang
That's
it.
what
Come
I was
on.
about. Why can't he learn the alphabet?
Because they get lost at sea.
Jessie.
I love dad jokes.
Okay, 3 more. What did the pencil sharpener say to the pencil?
Oh, I've heard this one before. Hold on.
I know, me too.
And for those in the comment about not getting the clock one, it's like TikTok. Like they talk too much.
Oh, that makes sense.
Hold on. Say the joke again. Say the joke again. What did the pencil say to the sharpener, right?
No, what did the pencil sharpener say to the pencil?
Pencil. Okay. I know it was one or the other.
Yvette has half of it.
Get to the point. Stay sharp.
Stop going in circles and get to the point.
Mm.
All right.
2 more. Why do calculators make great friends?
Why do calculators make great friends? It all
Because
adds.
you can always count on them.
Oh.
I love it. Last one.
This one was today's joke. It says, why did the scarecrow win a Nobel Prize?
Scarecrow win the Nobel Prize.
Because he was outstanding in his field.
I have heard that one before.
Me too.
Wasn't that like in a book that I read? I literally think that was in a book that I read.
I suck.
Okay, well that was fun. Thank you.
Yvette said because he's a stand-up guy. I love it.
Oh my goodness. Last book, Law of Apothecary for Multiple Timelines. So relieve you enjoyed Winter Rome. Yes! I love, girl, you don't even know, Elizabeth.
Yeah, you don't even know.
And then meanwhile, Lena's like, DNF 3 books, living my best life. I love you, Lena. I really do. On your 4th book, listening to Good Bad Girl by Ellis Feeney for the social studies prompt. All righty. Do the joke of the day with your students. I don't think I'll finish all the prompts, but I have 3, maybe 4 plus a movie. Yay, that's good.
I forgot about the movie. I need to do that.
You don't have
I watched
to.
1.5.
Yeah, you did.
Because I dropped off of Heather's. I was like, this is not my kind of movie.
Like I said, did I not call it on Monday Sprints saying,
But
I'll be shocked if you like it.
It's like Bunny, but I liked Bunny and I wasn't prepared for the fever dream of Heather. So
I know I was watching and I was like, man, I don't know if Keisha's gonna like this. And it says
always-
Keisha left. I was like, oh.
but I always wanted to watch it. So I did. I got to try it. And then I also watched The Breakfast Club for the first time ever. And I liked that. So.
And you watched about, I'd say like a third of hers,
And honestly,
so.
the second half is not as entertaining as the first
I
one.
really do like the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
It just starts getting darker and darker.
I was like, this is very dark humor. This is not
It's so
fun.
funny because Daniel goes, so what did you guys end up watching? And I was like, Heather's. And he goes, ooh. Because he likes that movie, but he knows how dark it is. I was like, yeah, it's kind of dark. He's like, kind of?
Well, Gwen only put it on the poll because of me, and then it won.
I did. I didn't want to watch it. I did not want to watch it because I've already seen it. So but I did it for you anyway.
I feel like
So
musicals.
Kat
Just
said
watch the
she had a
musical.
joke, but then we might find it corny.
I'm stealing that one.
I loved it, Kat. Oh my goodness. When Keisha said what she was gonna watch, I know with that. Let me say, I'm gonna say in the last month, okay, I have called so many things. Keisha's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna buy this book. I'm like, should
Don't
you
do
really?
it.
Should you really buy that book? Then literally like 2 days later, she's like, so that book I bought, I'm gonna unhaul it.
She's not wrong. I mean, it's kind of scary.
I'm like, maybe you should start listening to me. You know, maybe I know what I'm talking about. Like, just maybe a little bit, but it's fine. Let's see. This is crew during the movie. Keisha,
Like literally, I was like, I cannot believe Keisha is watching this. And then
She's
like
like,
5
bye.
seconds later, it's like Keisha left chat. I was like, okay.
It's dark. It's dark.
It's
But
like
if you go into
funny.
it for like the one-liners, the 80s fashion, the nostalgic 80s
The
vibes.
fashion.
Yeah, I loved it, but
You
it's just
said
dark.
that it's like the OG Mean Girls, like how they pick up stuff from that. Like it really is. Like I
Yeah, you
see
can like directly pick thing. You're like, oh, that's where Mean Girls got the, idea.
Yeah. Mean Girls just has less shoulder pads.
But I like Mean Girls.
Oh, okay. Next order of business is to pick our giveaway winner. I said I would do this live. So let me share my screen real quick. All right. So on this video, or in this video, this was my announcement video for the back to school readathon. I said if you left a comment and like I told you to put like an emoji or whatever, you would be entered to win. So everybody that left a comment is entered to win. And I also said that my patrons have double the chance of winning. So today I went back in and wrote like extra Patreon comment for Lena, extra Patreon comment for Tyra. And there's like a whole bunch of them down here at the bottom. So everybody that's a patron did get double entry. Just so you know, everybody else got their one entry. But now I'm going to go over to the picker. Let me present that. Okay, present another screen. This one. Okay, did that? Okay, good. There it is. So I already have my video loaded in here. This is the link to my video. And let me make sure. Okay, filter. Okay. And then I just have to solve this number thing. 11. Get YouTube
Jessie
comments.
doing math over here.
95 comments total. And good luck to everybody. It's going to name our winner. Oh, yay. Extra Patreon comment for Jordan at Sorry Booked Solids. So congrats, Jordan. You're winning the prize pack.
I literally thought it said that you won, that you put the comment.
That's why I was trying to say, like, if you see me pop up, it's for my patrons. So you can see it. It says extra Patreon comment for Jordan. So
Jordan,
congratulations, Jordan. She's probably doing like kid nighttime routine or something like that. But congrats to Jordan.
Yay.
All right, let me stop my screen. Okay. All right. So I will mail that out to you soon, Jordan. Okay, next we're just going to go ahead and jump right into the superlatives, and you can comment your answer in the comments section as well, like if you have an answer to this. But we have several to go through, and I told them, I said, use this prompt however you see fit. So we may have a little different interpretation of the actual superlative. So feel free to explain yourself if you want to explain yourself or not.
Explain yourself.
Explain yourself. All right. So the first superlative is most popular. And how I interpreted the prompt is the book that has like the most ratings with the highest star rating. And also I should say, these are books that we've read this year, not just for the readathon. We'd have like maybe 2 or 3 answers, but so these are books that we've read this year. So my answer for most popular is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, which was actually my first read of the year. It was a reread, but it has 2.7 million ratings with a 4.22 average rating.
I did not know that.
So there you go. That's my most popular. All right. What about you guys? However you interpreted it, whatever. Tell me your answers.
Jovi's joining the live.
Okay, Jovi, what is your answer?
Kisses for Keisha.
Mine is literally the most obvious. Like, I don't have any explaining to do because everybody knows.
Oh my
Thorns and
gosh.
Roses.
That's true.
Obviously one of the most popular books out there. So that's why I picked this one.
Yes, very good answer. All right, Jessie, what about you?
I did not have it ready for as far as like what no, I did. It was the average rating was 4.4 on Goodreads, I believe, or 4.3, but it is American Kingpin by Nick Bilton. I don't have the book.
You should have told me I would have grabbed it. Why did you read that book, Jessie?
Because I did a video. I don't even think I did a video, but I was planning on doing a video reading my friends' favorites of last year of 2022. And this one was Gwen's, and it was my first like nonfiction since getting back into reading, and I loved it because it did not read like nonfiction. It very much felt like reading a fiction book, but it was actually happening. And it's crazy because it is about oh my gosh, what's it called?
The Silk Road.
The Silk Road drug, almost like an eBay underground black web.
Guys, so I'm telling you, if you read thrillers and you have not read American Kingpin, stop what you're doing. Turn off the live. Come back and watch it later after you've read that book. It is so good.
Yes, I gave it 4 stars, but that's because I don't really have anything to compare it to. So if I read another nonfiction, I could bump it up to a 5-star. So
yeah, it is so good. And there's an adaptation. Really there's an adaptation.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Liv?
Mine goes without explanation as well. Fourth Wing completely taken over Bookstagram, BookTube. I mean, I think it's the most popular book of the year. So
yeah,
I feel like I don't need to say anything else. I loved it. I'm with the hype train on this one, and it's beautiful. So y'all should go read it.
Yeah, wasn't it like sold out everywhere? Like no one can find it at one point.
I mean, they're selling it now, but without the sprayed edges. Like this is like worth $1,000 now. I'm like, what?
It's the Stanley Cup of books, isn't it?
Yeah, I am not letting anyone borrow this because I'm like, if I ever want to sell it for big bucks, I mean, yeah. So
and the sequel comes out this year too, right?
November it does.
Yeah, so, it looks gorgeous too. And Jessica's here. Hello, she's starting Avatar. And then Gabby's here. She's lesson planning. Hi. And then let's see. Elise, good choice. Just got to the part now. I think it will be 5 stars. And then Lena's answer is The Time Traveler's Wife. 1.7 million. That doesn't beat the Colleen Hoover, though. Just saying. Okay.
I haven't checked Fourth Wing yet. I'll be back.
Okay. The next superlative is most likely to succeed. For this, I went with Happy Place by Emily Henry. The reason why I chose it for most likely to succeed is I feel like it's going to be in the Goodreads choice nominees, and I feel like it's going to win. I think it's going to win because of who wrote it, but also because it's an amazing book. So I loved this one so much.
I love that. So for most likely to succeed, mine is more of an author and it's more of a personal thing, but The Younger Wife by Sally Hepworth, but it's more of an author thing. Like she is most likely to succeed with me. I've never read a book of hers that I did not like. And I feel like anybody else that likes her, if you don't, there's something wrong.
But I love that one.
Yeah, it's really good. So that's why I picked it. I picked her.
Nice.
Okay. So I'm a little biased because I love this book because I read it during the Readathon, but I also think this is going to be in the Goodreads Choice Awards, and I really hope it beats Happy Place. But it is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, or Poston. I've heard 2 different variations. I will probably not be surprised if Happy Place wins, but I don't think it should win. I do love Emily Henry though. Don't get me wrong.
Honestly though, I feel like she's going to be put in the romance category, and to me this feels more contemporary with like a romance subplot, but because of her name, I think it's going to be in the romance category.
Yeah.
That's not my choice. I'm just saying.
But yeah, I absolutely loved this one. It's probably like I've already said, it's my favorite romance of the year. So I really hope this one beats Happy Place.
I know. And then Lane is over here crapping on Happy Place. Ignore, block, put that user in timeout. I know, right, Elizabeth?
I'm laughing at Yvette's comment because
there's so many comments, y'all. All right.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, for this one, I took a completely different mindset. The characters would be most likely to succeed at anything.
I love that.
Killers of a Certain Age.
Yes, I love that book. Yeah.
They're in their 60s, right? I think. And they're still like bad butt women. They're like assassins or whatever.
They are.
So I'm like, they can do anything they want.
Women ever.
I know.
I love their friendship. I love that book so much, Liv.
Yeah, it's on my TBR.
I had to choose it. It just made sense. So they can do anything. They're 60 years old, but it doesn't matter.
Would I like that book?
Gwen, cover your ears. I gave it 3 stars.
Oh,
so
I think
I don't have the book anymore.
I think I gave it 4.
Okay.
Yeah. It started off really well, but then it just kind of tapered off.
Yeah.
There was like less humor and I don't know.
The women, the characters. I loved the characters.
Yes. And
the actual plot and the mystery part of it did not care at all.
Same.
Just give me more women being baddies. But yeah. Perfect. All right. That was it for that. Okay. Most improved. And in my head, I felt like it could be the most improved book. Like maybe it started off kind of slow or kind of and then it got better. Or it could be like the most improved author. Like you hated their last book, but this one was kind of a winner. That's the direction I went because I hated House Across the Lake. Listen to my podcast. Me and Jessie talked about it very in depth about how much we hated it.
I missed the memo.
This was most improved.
Yes.
By far.
Yes. What Gwen said.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I agree.
This is my answer. You can't convince me otherwise.
Well, mine was different. Mine is The Last Word by Taylor
That's also
Adams.
true.
Hairpin Bridge was awful.
Not
it did not feel like the same author as No Exit. This was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I loved it. So it's definitely a huge step up.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Good answer. Yes.
I know when I was going through for this one, I was like, dang it, Keisha and Gwen are probably going to say the same thing. I was like, you know what?
I thought about it, but I was like, no.
They think, let's see, Kayla says she would like it a decent amount. Lena said most likely to succeed. Yours truly. I agree. Most improved, Sarah Pekkanen. Yeah. I've heard good things about her solo book that she's written. Completely agree with Liv. Yes, Liv. I hated No Exit, but love The Last Word.
No, ma'am.
Elise, block from chat. Oh my goodness. True, because I didn't like No Exit. What is happening right now on my channel?
Some hot takes.
I love it. I just ready to have
summer.
Bye.
But you know, I always say The House Across the Lake is my favorite 1-star book.
Well, okay.
Same.
The reason why I think I liked it as a 1-star book, I think I actually gave it 2 stars.
I gave it 3. Not
honestly, the first 60% of the book, I was like, why are people hating on this book? This book is amazing. And then I got to the 61%. I was like, now I see why. I was like, I literally, because I did a special reading vlog for my patrons, I literally flipped the page and I was like, no, please, no.
Yeah, I knew where it was going. And I was like, dang it.
Why? Please don't do this. But yeah, okay.
Marge has not read a Riley Sager. Marge, you need to read one.
Where? Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a girl in my book club, like she has read Riley Sager now. Raven is her name, but Raven had not read a Riley Sager. And I was like, huh? There's people out there that haven't read Riley Sager? How is that a thing? But yeah. So yeah, you need to change that.
Yeah.
If you need some inspo, you can just go to my podcast. Me and Summer did a whole Riley Sager author taste test, and we talked about all the books, which ones we recommend. And Summer and I have a different take. So if you read more like Summer, go with her recommendations. If you read more like me, you go with my recommendations.
That was a good episode too.
It was a good episode. I mean, okay. Let's see. Most likely to change the world. How did you guys interpret this?
Hang on, what did I put?
This was a tough one for me. So I picked The Things We Keep by Sally Hepworth because I think the part about this that I liked was you get the perspective of a person who has Alzheimer's, but also the family who have to deal with it. So you see both sides represented in what that looks like. And it was a really moving, emotional, like good lessons type of book that I would recommend everybody to read. So that's why I picked it. It's very
Love that.
Yeah.
Mine is
All right,
kind of similar to Keisha's.
Okay.
Chose Happy Life of Isadora Bentley. She's kind of like a grump, thinks her life is the absolute worst. And then she kind of goes through this whole, I don't know, self-reflection, and she's just a kinder, nicer person at the end. And so I feel like if everybody could be like her and just open their eyes to other people around them, it would just, the world would be different. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm excited to read that next month.
So for me, I needed Gwen to kind of help me because this was the only one. I was just like, I don't know how to interpret this. And
She's like, I don't read books like that.
Changing the world one page at a time. But we did Bookish Superlatives for the end of last year on your podcast. And so I think you said like the superlative question was like what genres like can like change your mind on things. And so I kind of sat with that, and the book that I'm going to pick is a book that I had literally seen floating around, didn't hear anything about it, saw it on NetGalley, never requested it, never read the synopsis, but just kept seeing it and never heard anything from the author. So I finally picked it up and I loved it. I think it's probably one of my top 5 favorite thrillers of the year. So I think you should not always stick to what you know and try to branch out, which is one of my goals. And so I picked The Quiet Tenant.
Stop.
Yes.
You liked it that much?
It was so good.
Okay, but let me tell you a little story now. Little story time about it. So before I left and took my trip to Nashville, because I was not buying any books, Jessie was like, well, I'm going between these 2 books. Which one should I read next? I was like, The Quiet Tenant. You should read The Quiet Tenant before I go on my trip to know if I should buy it. Did she follow the assignment? No, she did not.
I did read it, just not as fast as you
right. And so I didn't get it.
Yeah.
But then one of my patrons sent it to me, so that was extra fun.
But yeah, I loved this book. So like, even though I've never heard anything from this author and I didn't really hear, like if something piques your interest, give it a shot. So it's changed my like outlook on not just sticking with everything that I know.
Form your own opinion.
Form your own opinion. And
on a scale of 1 to 10, how dark is it?
Because
I read the first page because I have it and I was like, oh boy.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm kind of scared.
I mean, it's nothing I haven't read before, but I think it is pretty dark. So
yeah.
But it's so good.
Okay.
Why are my comments sticking? Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Is it like Karen Slaughter dark?
Like Pretty Girls?
I don't know. I just know that she's writing stuff I'm not going to read.
Keisha, you're not going to read this regardless.
Well, I'm not. I'm just asking for the people to help the people, you know?
I wouldn't say it's that dark, but it's in the ball field.
Yeah. Right, Kat?
Dark adds to cart. Yes, ma'am. So yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, that's good.
Sped teacher, fish in a tree. So great to help students who have dyslexia see themselves, loving all the new YA diversity now.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. It's like half as dark as Karen Slaughter.
Yeah. Okay. So like, but like my dark compared to like probably Keisha's dark.
Yeah, I know. I was just asking for the people. I was trying.
There's no headboards.
So. Guess what, Jordan? You won the giveaway.
Yay!
I chose the giveaway winner live, and you won. So yay! Anyway, my answer for Most Likely to Change the World is Cultish by Amanda Montell, and this isn't about cults. Surprisingly, it's about the language that can make everyday things seem cultish, and how like everyday things are kind of cult like because of the language we use to talk about them and describe them and promote them and stuff like that. So it just made me really think about the word choices that I use to say things when referencing, like, I don't know, like some of the things that they talk about in here. Let me remember.
Didn't they talk about like CrossFit?
Yeah, like CrossFit, just basically anything. And it was just like, it was so smart. And yeah, it was just a really good book, really informative. Next up is Most Likely to Become Famous. I don't have the book that I chose, but I went with Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And I chose that because I think it is being made into a movie. It may be like paused right now because of Hollywood and stuff. But I just think that it's already like a super popular book. And then you're going to have the movie come out, and then people are going to see that and they're going to want to read the book. So I just think it's going to be famous.
Did you grab that book, Gwen?
Yep.
Okay. So I gave her my copy.
This is literally Keisha's copy.
Yeah, I have not seen anybody rate that book like lower than 4 stars. Everybody's giving it 5 stars. The only reason that I didn't like it, I ended up DNFing it at like 70-something% because there's a lot of language, and there is like 3 or 4 chapters in a row of smut, like open door scenes, and it was just such a sweet story. Obviously everybody's loving it, but for me, that's why I didn't love it. But I feel like she's going to be like the new romance author that everybody raves about. Like that's her debut, and it was like everybody's loving it. So I just feel like she's going to be famous.
Yay.
3 or 4 chapters, man. They're busy.
Right? Excuse me, I can't even skip this. It's all of it.
For me, going back into the last prompt, I'm hoping me shouting this book at the rooftops will, get people to want to pick this book up more. But I'm going to pick The Quiet Tenant again because it's that good. I feel like I have only heard me and like one other creator talk about this. That I've heard of. I could be wrong. There could be more.
I think I've heard 3 people talk about it, including you.
Okay, yeah. Like honestly, if you like dark thrillers, like, I wouldn't even say like horror, but like kind of goes into like realistic horror, like what could really happen, like being abducted and stuff like that. Like this is it. So
nice.
Yeah, I took once again a completely different route. This character that I think is going to become the most famous. Gwen, you'll like this answer.
Yay!
I can't even remember her name. Amelia. Yeah. Amelia Rose, because she's a pop star. So
yeah,
logical answer. I love her. I feel like, she would just be a great famous person. So kind, so sweet, so talented.
Definitely.
Obvious answer with that one.
Definitely. Jordan says The Quiet Tenant was not on my radar until this month, but man, people are loving it. Sorry. Good autumnal book, Jessie?
There's always a good time for kidnapping, so go for it.
Most likely
scared now.
Famously 𝒍𝒏𝒏𝒅 Anywhere books. Yes. About time. Okay, next one, Class Clown. For me, I'm gonna go with an unlikely source, The Christmas Wish. I read this for my Patreon readathon. We did a Christmas in July, and I just could not stop laughing, but also When in Rome. But I was trying not to use that answer. So this book is so funny, and I was not expecting it. So this is my answer.
All right. The best book ever, which I think somebody else has this answer too. I think that this book has everything. I know everybody's not going to agree with me because everybody didn't give it 5 stars, but this book is funny and it's good. I love the banter between the main character. It's a cozy mystery, by the way, in case y'all don't know what this book is and haven't heard me talk about it before. You need to pick it up. It is so funny. Like the banter between the main character and the detective is hilarious, and just the one-liners that she says and the interactions between her and her daughter. Like, it's so good. It's got a little bit of everything in it, and I just you've been waiting on me to hold this up. I love it. Yeah, this is the answer for everything, but I felt like it fit here because I didn't expect it to be funny, and like it's the whole package. But it's surprising to me that it was funny, and I feel like it's the funniest book that I've read this year. So
I feel like you should use that one for most likely to become famous, because you have been shouting from the rooftops and gotten so many people to read it.
Yeah, I know
about it.
I'll talk about it. I guess it's only going to be 3 books. She's not going to be publishing anymore in the series.
That's right. You mentioned that.
So it could be famous, but womp womp.
Yeah. And I hate because I didn't like the third one as much as the first 2. I liked it, but I didn't love it like I loved the first 2. So the publisher just pulled out, but they pulled out of her other series too. I'm like, look, we were just getting famous, y'all. Like, I was telling everybody about her.
For me, Lena already put mine in the comment section, but it is You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose, because I loved it. Gave it 5 stars. Okay. But it is very cringy. It's like,
you'll never look at onions the same way again.
Yes. Yeah, it quote Shrek all you want, but I feel like it's supposed to be like dark and serious, but like you just can't stop laughing at all of the major red flags that our main character encounters. It's about a woman who is taking a solo trip and does an Airbnb in like Wyoming, on a ranch, and this guy who owns the Airbnb is a rancher, and she notices that maybe the last tenant that rented the Airbnb could go missing, but they're like also like wanting to rip each other's clothes off at the same time. Like, it's just, I don't know if it's funny because I think it's supposed to be serious or if it's meant to be funny, but I loved this book. I gave it 5 stars.
Yeah. Love that.
That's funny. I also picked Buried in a Good Book.
Nice.
The main character is hilarious, but in a very cheesy way, like in a very funny way. It just, in kind of a cringy way, to be honest. But I mean, I feel like she would definitely be the class clown. So I won't say anymore.
Class clown, House in the Cerulean Sea. Cecily Chauncey is the most adorable tentacle blob boy that ever was. Yes. I read that book a couple years ago. That was good. And then here is Willa's answer. Not sure what she was going for there, but we love her.
It looks like a book.
Next up is Life of the Party. And for this, I went with Set on You by Amy Lee. I loved this book. It was just so fun, but also like so meaningful at the same time. I read this during X's and O's, and I love this book so much. And if you haven't read it, it's about a plus size curvy influencer, and there's kind of like a hate to love, but not really. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really cute. So definitely pick it up if you haven't. Who's next?
I think that was it. Wait, hold on. I'm lost. My bad.
I mean, I can go.
I was like, am I frozen?
No.
That's what I thought too.
That was Life of the Party. And for whatever reason, I was like thinking we were still on the last one. And I was like, yup. Sorry. That was my brain fart. Anyway.
Okay. Life of the Party and go.
Sorry,
yes, that's a good answer.
For obvious reasons. I just feel like.
Yes.
So
I don't have like anything to say about it other than for obvious reasons. I feel like
my favorite book of last year.
And everybody loves this book too. So
Yep.
My heart, my soul.
Keisha is the life of the party.
I wasn't just then. I was like crickets. So I was like, yeah, what are we doing?
Life of the Party, The Housemaid. I feel like it's just an all around good time. I just started that today, Lena.
Oh, nice. Well, speaking of that, I actually have two answers, but one of them is The Housemaid by Freida McFadden because it got a lot of hype, and I understand why. I gave this one 4 stars because I feel like I've read similar books like this before, but it was a crazy wild ride. If you've never experienced the books I think they're comparable to, it will definitely throw you for a loop. But then I also wanted to point out What Lies in the Woods because this was one of my very first books of the year. I've been saying it's my favorite book of the year. I mean, the 7-year slip may have passed it, but I'm just saying. But from like the very beginning, like probably like 20 pages in, I was like, this is a 5-star. This is a 5-star. So like, I feel like because I had such strong feelings from the beginning, it's the life of the party.
Yeah. For this one, I chose Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers.
Yay,
if you've
someone
read
else
this,
said that
really?
earlier. Yeah.
Oh, I think Rachel was talking
Yeah,
about
here
Class
it is.
Clown, which I almost chose this for Class Clown. Vera Wong is hilarious. I laughed out loud so many times. Like, I would invite her to one of my parties, even though she's like 70 years old, because she's hilarious. So, yeah, I loved this book. It was so good. But yeah.
Oh my God, the beginning of this year when you loved What Lies in the Woods felt so long ago. I thought that was last year. Did you see that, Jessie? You're muted, but it's fine.
That's like the 4th time I've done that. But yeah, this was probably my 3rd book of the year. So that's how long ago it was.
I need to read it. I love Kate Alice Marshall.
Yeah, I have that YA book that you've told me was scary.
The Vanishing one?
Yeah, so I'm saving that for Halloween-ish time.
Oh, so good.
Because you said it scared you. Or it will
did.
scare me.
Yeah, it's creepy.
A Life of the Party, How to Sell a Haunted House. Those squirrels and puppets like the party.
Yeah.
Life of the Party is the puppet from How to Sell a Haunted House. Oh my goodness. Faith says, I knew too much about true crime case. What lies in? Yeah. And see, I didn't until Jessie said something, and then I was like, what is she talking about?
Yvette is talking about Part of Your World. She and I buddy read it, and I loved it, and she didn't. And
we're not going to talk about it. And moving on.
Yvette, get out.
Unique.
But then we also buddy read People We Meet on Vacation, and I didn't like that, and she loved that. So we flip-flopped.
Interesting.
But I loved both of them, so you're both wrong in your own ways.
I know, right?
Yeah, same.
Okay, what was the point of that conversation? Because that didn't make me feel better.
I wanted to finish my sentence. That's the point.
Most unique, I went with My Murder by Katie Williams. I just thought it was a very unique story. I mean, it says, what if the murder you had to solve was your own? That's pretty unique.
Ooh,
so
that is it
was really good. I gave it 4 stars. It wasn't like 5 stars, and it's short. Yeah. So she's murdered, and now she's back, and she's trying to solve her own murder. Pretty unique. And Keisha.
I don't know what is in my head, just that I'm like not okay. Sorry, Peculiar Woods. I don't know what that was in my voice either. Which is funny because peculiar is like, unique. I don't know. But anyways, this is a graphic novel, middle grade graphic novel. And the reason that I picked it for unique is because I've never read anything like it before, but also like the author does comics on Instagram. It's 𝒊𝒏𝒒𝒂𝒔 comics or whatever. And they're always really funny. And he wrote this book, and so I said it's unique, but I'm going to compare it to something. It reminds me of the Brave Little Toaster because like these things like come to like this is a chair and a blanket that have like been animated.
Stop it.
And it's really, really good. It has good life lessons. It's really cute. So, but I feel like, again, I've never read anything like it, even though it reminds me of the Brave Little Toaster. It's a unique story in and of itself. So that's why I picked it.
Cute. I wanted to specifically show the cover for this one because I don't own the book because I read it on Kindle Unlimited. But for unique for me was The Odds by Jeff Strand.
I almost picked that one.
Really? So me, Gwen, and Jordan from Sorry Book Solid, we were actually on Elizabeth's book club. The
Midnight Society.
The Midnight Society book club. Thank you. And so we read this one. First of all, I love
the cover because it's like that old
vintage
type of, but this one is about a guy who is basically has a gambling problem, lost $10,000 and he's freaking out because he doesn't want his wife to find out. And so he gets approached by this guy. It's like, hey, how would you like to win that $10,000 back? We have a game that you can play where you have a 99% chance of winning. And so, but if you lose, we get to completely destroy your arm, every bone broken and everything.
Yeah, we'll crush your arm. So you have a 99% chance to win, but the 1% chance that you don't, we're crushing your arm. Yep. Yes or no?
So, and I'll give you like a little bit of a spoiler because it's in the first chapter. He does end up winning that game, and then it goes to 90%, and the consequences keep getting worse and worse and worse, and then he's so far into this like tangled of a mess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. It's got a very unique concept. It reminded me of Saw, the Squid Games, and things like that. So I think it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, Elena says most unique was the ferryman.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty unique too.
I chose Divine Rivals for this one. I was also going to choose most popular, but I mean, I've never read anything like this where it's like historical romance, mythology, fantasy. Like it's just a very interesting mix of things. And there's also like letters written back and forth. It was just really unique. Like I've read so much fantasy, but I've never read anything like this. So
you've got a couple tabs there, so maybe you liked it too.
Yeah, there's a reason it's so popular. I loved it. Yeah, super interesting.
Awesome. Mother thing was Kat's answer.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
And then let's see, Kayla said was a trip. I'm not sure I can send it to. That's hilarious. Okay, next up is biggest drama queen. And for that, I went with Georgie from Georgie All Along. This character, like I'm all about a quirky character. I love quirky characters, but at some point, you just gotta stop because I just couldn't take it anymore. So I'm gonna go Georgie. Oh my
goodness. I'm ready this time. Okay. For multiple reasons. I mean, any reason you could give, like the characters, the story in and of itself. Like
it's true. But I loved it.
It's drama. And
but that's my favorite dramatic version of VeggieTales.
What?
Or she's like a vegetable.
Oh, I was like, sorry, went over my head. Oh, but yeah. Sorry, that went up totally over my head.
Verity doing the TikTok sound. Me? Am I the drama?
Yes. No. Headboard vet. God.
Yep, the headboard. I would say for most dramatic. This was for the X's and O's readathon. It was our buddy read, which is called X's and O's, because this is about
Tara.
This is the sequel to Set on You, which Gwen mentioned
it's buried
earlier.
Over there.
So Tara is a bookstagrammer, book TikToker, like very, very relatable to like what we do on social media. But she is trying to create her own second chance romance. How dramatic can that be?
Pretty dramatic.
She's trying to find her last 10 exes. I think it's 10.
Yeah.
While also living in an apartment.
Is it 10 or is it 5?
It was more than 5.
Okay, it was a lot.
10 is a lot.
Yeah, it was at least double digits. I can tell you that.
No judgment, but
but she's also living in an apartment with a sexy firefighter. So drama.
For this one, I feel like Keisha and I are like on the same wavelength with some of these, but I chose Layla by Colleen Hoover. And I can't really explain exactly why, but if you've read it, I feel like you know the main girl character. Some crazy stuff happens. And I'm also laughing because Rachel said Layla for most unique, which I almost chose this for most unique. This was a wild ride. One of my favorite thrillers of all time now, though. So it was good.
Yeah.
It was dramatic, but it was good.
It was dramatic. Most creative.
It was 10, by the way.
Okay, you're like, just so you know, you were wrong.
Wow.
Okay,
It was-
moving
it was
on. Yes, 10. Yeah, and she's like reaching out to them to try to like make it work. Okay, so my most unique, or no, what was it? Most creative is the cartographers. This is a recommendation that I got from Summer, and I was like, because I actually skipped over it when it was like a book of the month pick. I was like, this is not really my thing, but I loved this. A little bit slower pace than I typically like, but it was just so creative and different than stuff that I read and well written. And it's about like it's about maps. That's basically the whole story. The main character's father dies and she finds this map and then crazy things happen.
Okay. I picked Unfamiliar because I feel like the graphic novel style in this was really unique. Like one of my favorite things about it was the main character Planchette. Whenever she saw different things, so like down here she saw ghosts, and her eye, like her pupils turn into ghosts, and so like her pupils reflect like her emotions or her. It's not just her; like other characters did that too. Like this one has hearts in her eyes. There's I don't know. I of course I can't find them when I'm looking, but her eyes just like right here. I just think that's really unique. Like I've never seen a graphic novel do that or any book do that. I feel like it was a really unique story and a really unique art style and probably one of my new favorites. So
Yeah, I actually read that one. I think it was for the Let's Get Graphic, and that's not a usual like art style that I like for graphic novels, but I really enjoyed that one. For me, most unique, I don't own the book anymore because I unhauled it, but I picked Malice House, which Keisha was actually my co-host for my book club on my channel. I think this was very unique because it's about a woman whose father was like this very well-known like horror bedtime creature or like horror author, and she finds an unpublished bedtime stories for monsters, and there's like all these like crazy stories. She's also like illustrating the stories and like they may be coming to life. I just thought that whole concept was very unique, and you get to see little snippets of the actual stories throughout the book. So that's why I picked most creative, but I did not like it as much.
I loved it.
Most
but there's
creative.
also elements in it
Yeah.
that I personally would like. So.
She's like, Malice House, unique isn't the word I would use.
For this one, I chose The Wishing Game. Also,
yeah.
spoiler, my favorite book I've read so far this year.
Nice. Some more tabs.
Yeah, it's it's so good. I don't even know where to start. I could gush about this forever. But super creative. There's kind of like this Willy Wonka kind of guy character who has this competition going on. He's got all these jokes and these riddles and things that people are just trying to solve. And there's a lot packed into this book, but I've never read anything like it. So yeah, the characters are all super creative, but the main guy is just so quirky and fun and creative himself. So I had to go with this one.
Yeah,
and you all should read it.
Yeah, it's
I sobbed.
I don't own it yet, but it's on my TBR, and I'm hoping to read it by the end of the year because I will forever match that book with Elizabeth from Ponytails and Paperbacks because of her review. She was like, "If you are my friend or you want to be my friend, you have to read this book." And I was like, "Dang it!"
I'm making all my family and my sisters read this.
Yeah, I was like, I
big
guess I
theme
have
is
to read it.
adoption. And two of my sisters are adopted, so obviously I'm gonna have that special connection to it. So
yeah, my mom adopted. Yeah, I have adoptive brothers and sisters as well. I have 2 adoptive sisters, 1 adoptive brother. So yeah, I got to do that. Okay, that was most creative. All right, cutest couple. I went with Brianna and Jacob from Yours Truly. Because they are everything. I especially love Jacob so much. Yeah.
Can I just say yep, same. This is my favorite romance of all time. The anxiety reputation is
the
just
letters.
Yeah.
It was just great. It was
I may have
good.
Picked that one too for this year, but I read it last year, so that's why I didn't pick it.
Yeah, but it's just so good. It's so
all the tabs once again.
Well, my favorite romance book of all time right now with the tabs is The Off Limits Rule. I love Lucy and Cooper. I don't want to hear y'all say anything about, oh, it's too insta-lovey or she's too quirky. No, Gwen knows. We will like, I will fight.
She will fight you.
I will fight you because I love this book so freaking much. These characters, like, this is my kind of romance. It's like a brother's best friend romance, which I found I may love just as much, if not more, than I love the just like friends to lovers or childhood friends to lovers trope. Like, I think this is my new favorite. Jovi, sit down. People, I know you want to see people, but no. This is so good. This is so good. I just
What about the second book? Because I know that's the first book in the series.
Why
How are
then?
you feeling about that?
When are you gonna read When in Rome? That's what I want to know.
I know, like, for real.
I have plans to watch Roman Holiday with some friends first, so I pick up on the stuff. So I'm watching that, I think, the second week in September, maybe. So after I watch that.
Do you like Hannah Montana?
Oh my gosh, is it going to be like Hannah Montana?
She's going to love it.
I know she is going to.
The second book, you asked me, the second book I didn't like as much. The main character annoyed me. But it did get better by the end, and I did up my rating by the end. But I couldn't. I just didn't believe it. So, unfortunate.
Not to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to pick Clementine and Ewan, I think is how you say his name. It's the weirdest name, but I just absolutely loved how this book was done. I was very confused on how the whole not time travel, but like that's the best word I could think of. And Liv actually said, just don't ask questions, just go for the ride. And honestly, best advice I can give someone who wants to read this one. So I just loved their chemistry, like present and past timelines. Like,
yeah,
it's just so good.
Jessie literally told me the next morning, she's like, I'm so happy that Liv told me that, because I do not think I would have liked the book as much.
Well, when I read, again, this is before I was really into romance, but I read In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. I was like, okay, like, why is this happening? How can she fix this? And honestly, I mean, if it wasn't like a cheesy holiday romance, I may have liked it a little bit more. But I think because I was so focused. Of course you would.
I gave it 1 star, so
I'm not a Hallmark.
But she was
Christmas
trying
person
to figure out the time thing.
Yeah. I think I was too focused on.
So was I.
Why is this happening and how can we fix it? And so I think I was like 20-ish pages into it, and Liv's like, just go for the ride. I was like, okay.
It's romance. It's not fantasy. You just gotta read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Lake House movie. Yeah, that's a good reference, actually.
All right. And the last one is Best Dressed. And I think we all kind of took this a little bit differently, or at least maybe I did in this one. So I went with the Best Dressed book. So the most beautiful book cover that I've read this year. And for that, I went with Delicious Monsters, because look how creepy this book cover is.
I've never seen that.
A horror thriller. It's chunky. I did a whole reading vlog reading this book. But yeah, this book cover is just so beautiful. Like,
didn't you say the author is also a
YouTuber? She's on YouTube. She has an author tube channel. This is Lisa. I thought that was
really cool.
And she's actually like really bubbly and sweet too. So, and her next book is Tender Beasts. Let me look up the cover for that real quick, because that one is also really beautiful. Let's see, Tender Beasts.
I think that's really cool that you found.
Yeah, here it is. Actually, Jordan from Sorry Book Solid posted about this book cover, and I was like, holy crap, what is this? This is amazing. But this one comes out in 2024. So then I went to her backlist and I was like, oh my goodness, she is so lucky. She's getting all of these amazing covers.
Ooh, that looks creepy.
I mean, doesn't it look creepy? Look at the teeth.
Oh, yeah.
In the hand. Oh, it looks so good. So yes, I'm really looking forward to it. And that comes out February 27th. But yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so I had to like really think about this, because I feel like some of my covers, I didn't have like a top contender for like, oh, this one beats out all the others. So what I did, I still think it's a really beautiful cover. and it is best dressed. But I feel like it's also like best dressed internally also. So I picked Just Another Love Song by Carrie Winfrey, which I gave 4 stars initially, but the more I said on it, I'm like, is this a 5? This is like, first of all, here's the beautiful cover. It is stunning, even though I would have picked Yvette's answer that she's put in the comments if I would have read it this year, but I read it last year. That would have been my answer. My answer will be Foxglove once I finish that next week. So, but this one, and the story, it's a clean romance, or it's closed door, and it's really sweet. It honestly makes me feel like this is my hometown, like this could happen in my hometown, which I really connected with the story because of that. Don't be turned off if you don't like fame stories, because I don't really either. The guy in this one is famous, but like he's coming back home, so you don't really see his fame. It's not like in your face or anything like that, and they barely talk about it, but it's just so good and wholesome and sweet, and I just loved it. And so it's best dressed inside and out in my mind, so that's why.
Love that. I'm going to get through some of these comments real quick. Sorry. Plot twist, Lena loved In a Holidays.
No, ma'am.
Read both Ashley's books, everyone. Belladonna, best dressed. Haven. Really didn't like the story. Really loved the cover. So true. Bring Me Your Midnight and The Shadow Sister tie for the most beautiful naked books. I love watching AuthorTube videos, even though I have no aspirations to be an author. Yeah, her covers are incredible. Also, The Only Survivors by Meg Miranda, such a great cover. Yeah, so pretty. Okay, sorry.
I specifically went on Just Looks because I was not a fan of this one, but it is Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortin. Pains me to say that I did not like it, but I just love like the watercolor, and it matches her debut book. Oh my gosh, what's the name of it?
Every Summer After.
Every Summer After. I was thinking the Christina Lauren book. That's how like similar they are. But I just absolutely loved this. I hope she continues with this style. I would love an all purple one. I'm just saying, but that's probably not going to happen. I think her next one's orange, but that's okay.
Okay, I have 2 answers for mine because you all went with covers, but I have 2 different kind of answers. So best dressed, I was thinking the person that'd be the best dressed. Jason, because he's a musician, and I think it talks a lot about like his travel life
so much.
Yeah, like about his travel life and like life just as a musician too. And I felt best dressed for sure, but also this one. I mean.
Yeah.
You
obvious. Gotta give it up.
It's like pure gold and the sprayed edges. So
yeah.
And there's a map inside. We love that. So
So the Happy Ever After playlist reminded me a little bit, or like When in Rome, they kind of reminded me of each other a little bit, because it's like a celebrity, like a musician and like a non-celebrity person. So I just, it's like a throwback to it. So I just,
I thought that too, because I read them pretty close together. I was like, man, they're very similar. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was all of our superlatives. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you guys that are watching so much. This is our last live of the Readathon. There is one more day. Tomorrow is the last day of the Readathon. So if you're still reading, you still have time. There's one more photo prompt. It's Wacky Hair Day tomorrow. And I figure at the end of the week, like, your hair is looking wacky. So I see some wacky hair.
It's my fave that I took.
Is
I'm
it?
excited to
All
see
thanks
this.
to my hubby. So I'm excited.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks for making the Readathon like so successful. It was so much fun. Hopefully you guys had as much fun as we did, because I think we all had a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
But yeah, check everybody out on Instagram, on YouTube, subscribe, do all of the things. But until next time, happy reading, everybody. All right, bye.